African Free Press Television, good morning and thank you for joining us. I am Chika Anyanwu with the news update. Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has said that the President Muhammadu Buhari administration does not respect the rule of law. Fayose, who spoke on Monday at the Conference Stadium, Lokoja, Kogi State, at the grand finale of the People's Democratic Party rally, said the Buhari administration did not possess human rights credentials and was only chasing PDP members on corruption allegation. He questioned why President Buhari kept silent when the APC cleared ex-Kogi State Governor Abubakar Audu to contest the governorship election when he was facing corruption charges. On the bailout loan, Fayose said the APC was playing politics with it, adding that it was not considering the workers who are supposed to benefit from the fund. The pro-Biafra protest train arrived Umuahia, the Abia State capital, on Monday, moving through major streets under the watch of security agents. The pro-Biafra demonstrators were fulfilling their vow to take the protest to all states of the southeast before heading to Abuja. If the leaders of the Independent People of Biafra, IPOB, and Director of Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, was not released. Although economic activities were not disrupted, about 500 protesters marched through Umuahia South, Aba and Umuahia Road, as well as Bende and Enugu Road peacefully. The protesters, who carried Kanu's portrait and the Biafran flag, chanted songs of freedom and asked the federal government to order Kanu's release. President Muhammadu Buhari has asked the National Assembly to approve the payment of their 413 billion naira claims. It was lent yesterday. The payment is believed to be the key to ending the crippling petrol scarcity in many cities. Petrol is being sold for between 100 naira and 400 naira per litres in various parts of the country. Queues are long at filling stations where there is fuel. Many others are short for lack of supplies. A presidency source said last night that only about 140 billion naira was appropriated for subsidy payments in the current budget, and it has been exhausted. The source added that out of respect for the parliament, the president insists that the right thing must be done by seeking approval from the National Assembly before an additional kobo is paid in excess of what the budget makes provision for. The Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, had extended the deadline given to MTN to pay a $5.2 billion fine. Although the deadline expired on the 16th of November, it had been extended to Friday, 20th of November. In a statement issued by the NCC Director for Public Affairs, Mr. Tony Ojobo, said the NCC, in the interest of the nation, had to protect innocent Nigerians from falling victims of terrorists using unregistered SIM cards. The federal government has started the process of fulfilling its promises to pay 5,000 naira monthly allowance to 25 million unemployed youths in the country, with 2016 as the takeoff date. Although a motion to compel the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government to fulfill the campaign promises of paying the unemployed youth was recently rejected in the Senate, the federal government had, however, commenced plans to start the payment of the allowance, while it had also taken steps to capture the free school feeding program in the 2016 budget. It was further learnt that the government had saddled some officials with the task of ascertaining the number of the unemployed youths who would benefit from the scheme in order to ensure that the program was not sabotaged. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, yesterday had put the Nigerian death toll in the Saudi stampede at 274. 44 others are still missing, while 2 are receiving treatment in Saudi hospitals. The agency Commissioner Planning, Research, Statistic, Information and Library Service, Dr. Saleh Okenwa, stated this on Monday in Abuja. Okenwa expressed the determination of the Commission to continue to work with relevant stakeholders to account for the remaining pilgrims that died in the stampede. The number of Nigerians confirmed dead in the stampede is 274. Those injured and on admission in Jeddah are 2, while 44 remain officially declared missing. According to Dr. Okenwa, the Saudi Arabian government had not responded to Nigeria's request to be part of its committee set up to probe the incident. Chairman of NACON, Alhaji Abdullahi Mohammed, also said that Nigeria had not received any compensation pledged by Saudi Arabia for the victim of the September 11 crane crash at the precincts of Kaaba, the Grand Holy Mosque in Mecca. Security experts have warned that government and commercial online service could become the next frontier for illegal activity in Africa. As more people get access to the internet across Africa, governments and businesses are increasing their online presence, but there are questions about how secure these websites are. The popular email scam using a message from someone pretending to be a relative of a dead African leader asking for bank details is well known, but now tactics have changed. Today's cyber criminals no longer need users' approval or awareness to access valuable data, which could lead to theft of a large amount of money. For example, a recent cybersecurity report on Kenya says businesses are losing about $146 million every year to cybercrime. A Kenyan cybersecurity analyst, Freddie, has pointed out that the average Kenyan websites lack adequate protection. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced on Monday that funding for the extremist group Islamic State (ISIS) comes from sources in 40 undisclosed countries, including several members of the G20. Putin said the government of the countries needed to do more to prevent such fundings, as well as the sale of oil and other resources by Islamic State. Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise is very confident that his player will take on Swaziland on Tuesday, being today, after their uninspiring outing in the Southern African country on Friday. The Super Eagles, who are 3 times African champions, returned home after a goalless draw, despite being pre-match favourites against hosts, who were ranked 134th in the last FIFA ranking. The players have been criticized for the level of their performance by fans who expected at least a win given their world ratings. And that's the news at dawn on African Free Press Television. For more, do visit www.africanfreepress.com, follow at African Free Press on Twitter, and like African Free Press on Facebook. I am Chika Anyao. Good morning.